So it's basically a mindful chair yoga. That's part one, that's only for the neck. And as and when we proceed, I will go for the next movements. So prevention is movement. So what I want from you is the only thing that will help you out to come out from diabetes or high blood pressure is movement. Movement. The problem with us, we are not moving. In fact, I was sitting here for roughly might be an hour or so, and my body was aching. I felt like moving, you know. So the problem is we don't listen to our body. Our body gives us signal to move, but we are not moving at all. So here it is. It is very important that we move, and I need that 1 minute from you. If you start practicing for that 1 minute, it will make a huge difference. Let's go a bit further. Now this is something that we all know. What angle should be the desktop? How should I sit straight? But the problem is, even after following all these things, you are still creating a problem because our body was meant to move. Our body was not to be in one position all the time. That is what we are doing, right? You might achieve good goals, but if you're not healthy, you're not happy, right? So it's very important to be healthy as well as happy. So even if you're following these images of keeping everything aligned, but if you are not moving, you are definitely creating a problem. And I'll let you know why it is so. So, this is the chair that we always use in the office, every time, anywhere, at least throughout the whole day, 8 to 9 hours roughly you're sitting on the chair. Let's say 8 hours for example. Next, I'm traveling by car, on a bike, once again I'm sitting, and this is the worst scenario. Because here you can't move. Right? And you are sitting in a slouch position, the worst thing. Why? Because whenever you sit in a car, your knees are higher, the hip is lower. That means automatically you're having a strain on your lower back. Now, when you reach home, the best thing is you want to watch a movie, sofa. Right? Once again, it is in the same position. Now the problem is, 5-10 minutes sitting on a sofa feels really comfortable. And it should be. But the problem is, after 10, 15, 20 minutes, the same sofa would create a back pain for you. You will not realize for 5, 6 years, 7 years down the line, you will say, kya farak padta hai? Doesn't really matter. But then it does matter in the long run, not in short terms. At 28, 29, 30, 35, no problem. You play any way you want. You move the joints in any way, no problem. But after that, it will create a problem. And then, luckily, India had that Indian call of nature where you used to squat. But slowly and steadily, that is also gone because we want our bathrooms to be more in a Western style. So we sit also in the Western style. The problem is, if you see in all these positions, what is our body position? That's it. Now, if throughout the whole time, if this is what's happening and you're not standing and moving, friends, you are in the long run creating a huge mistake for your body. Right now, you might not realize it. But my experience says later on you will definitely have a lot of problems. Going a bit more further, this is what the joint is. Now remember, even if the door joint that we have, it's known as the hinge joint, the window hinge joint, what we do, we move it regularly. And in case we don't move it, what's happening? Rusting. Then what we do? Oiling. Is it okay? This is what it is, it's our joint. So we have a ball and socket joint, that is your hip joint, you have the hinge joint, you have your vertebrae. Now all these joint friends require a movement after every 20 to 30 minutes. After every 20 to 30 minutes. But the problem is we are so engrossed in our work, we don't really check this out. And the problem is what's happening? In between these two joints, we always have a disc. Whether it is the vertebrae or this. And this is all filled with synovial fluid, that is the oil. In simple terms, that's the oil. Now what's happening is, if you're not using this regularly, a time would come, you will have a great issue with your whole system, the whole body system. So, this is what your joint is. The cervical spine, the thoracic spine, the lumbar spine, the shoulders. And now the worst thing scenario coming is, earlier what was happening is, I'm talking about 10 years back, I used to get people who always had a back pain. But now, I'm getting people who are having a back pain as well as neck pain. Why? Thanks to the mobile. And thanks to the way we are so engrossed in our mobile that it's like worst case scenario. Text neck syndrome has come a new word altogether, right? So this is what is your joints, and you need to move all these joints. After every 10-15 minutes, even if you do this with awareness, with mindfulness, we normally do it, we're like, that's it. No, that will not work, because you need the movement to go very slow and with awareness. That is what is known as mindfulness. So, the joints have what? We have synovial fluid. This is the synovial fluid sac. Now, this is where, everywhere, in most of the joints, whether it's your fingers, whether it's your knees, whether it's your hip, whether it's your vertebrae, where there's a disc in between, that is known as an intervertebral disc, we need movement, friends. And this is if not happening, you are into a big trouble later on. Might not now, or some of you would feel. Right now, sitting diseases. So the term is known as, people who are into this corporate world who sit for longer hours, 9 to 12 hours, the term is known as sitting disease. And the only thing that will help you out is movement. Prevention is movement. So first thing that I have seen, I was working with Jasrow Hospital for 5 years in that cardiac rehabilitation department. And you'll be surprised, there are youngsters coming in for heart problems. And some of them said, "दो heart attack का तो पता नहीं चला, नींद में गया, तीसरे के लिए मैं परेशान हो गया." So sometimes you will hear, "अरे रात को सोया था, सुबह उठा ही नहीं." Why? Because sometimes these heart attacks are so silent in sleep that is never recorded, right? So high blood pressure, all these things are coming because you are not moving. Movement, there is no movement happening. Pancreas, what is the job of pancreas? Pancreas are creating insulin, but that is not absorbed by the body because you are not moving. In fact, if I tell you, if you want to just talk on a mobile, why don't you just stand up from your chair and just talk and move around and talk, right? Try to search ways and means to get up from that chair. Genuinely. If you can, that will also help in the long run. Every movement that you do in your body works on a cellular level. So that's the reason, if you can make these changes, the pancreas that creates insulin will be absorbed by the body completely. If that is not happening, friends, you are into a big trouble. Next is colon cancer. Sitting throughout the whole day definitely is creating a problem. Respiratory system, what's happening? Throughout the whole day, I'm like this. What is happening? My abdomen is compressed. Now when I try to breathe in, I can't breathe deeply because my diaphragm is not moving up and down like a piston, right? My rib cage can't expand because throughout the whole day, you might sit in this position, straight position for some time, but after some time you will slouch like that. And what's happening with your abdomen? It's just bulging out. Why? Because you're not sitting tall and your core is not active. For that reason, it's very important that you do some movement. Even if you get up, walk around, will make a huge difference. Back pain, very standard. It's like universal. For us, for yoga teachers, we have a lot of patients on back pain. It's simple. And it's very easily treatable. We have treated chronic people. The only thing is what they require is a daily 15 to 20 minutes of time if they can. With corporate world, what I say, just at 1 minute I require from you. Neck and shoulders, standard nowadays, very much standard. Varicose veins. Now the problem with this is, you are sitting throughout the whole day on a chair. Now what's happening? There is no pressure on your leg. What's happening? Osteoporosis. That means the bone is not getting a weight. When the bone is not getting a weight, that's the reason it's recommended that when you're sitting, put some wooden bowl, so the leg is on it, at least it gets some weight. What does the calf does? When the blood goes down, it goes up. But by sitting throughout the whole day, the blood, the varicose, the vein doesn't pull the blood back to the heart, and that is where you have these web type of veins. People have very swollen type of veins in their leg. That is the reason you need to move. Even if you walk and move, you are improving your blood circulation. If that's not happening, you need to really think over it. Nervous disorders, stress, anything and everything is your nervous disorder. Now, if you are quite stressed out, what's happening? Your parasympathetic nervous system, your sympathetic nervous system is getting more active. That means we call it a fight and flight response. That's the reason rest is very important. If you're not resting, your parasympathetic is not getting active, there is always a fight and flight response, not rest and digest. And that's the reason you need to take out time to just walk around in your office. Take time after every 9 to 10 minutes. Take that 1 minute walk. Even that 1 minute will make a huge difference. Coming back further, I need that 1 minute from you. Just that 1 minute, huge difference. Now, whatever movement that you're doing, when we talk about mindfulness, I talk about breathing. Now, why breathing is important? Because breathing gives you that meditative state, that dharana, dhyana and samadhi state. Now, what is happening when you're breathing in? When you breathe in, this is your diaphragm. This diaphragm goes down, the intestines gets a massage, and we have a pelvic diaphragm where our genitals are located. Even that gets pushed down. That means what's happening? The blood circulation is going towards the intestines also and towards the pelvic diaphragm. So we have a thoracic diaphragm, we have a pelvic diaphragm. But the problem is because we are not breathing deep, there is no movement happening in the thoracic diaphragm. Nothing is happening in the pelvic diaphragm. And that is the reason you have a lot of problems with your pelvic diaphragm. So deep breathing would play a very important role. So even if you're doing just a neck movement like this, deep breathe, just don't do like, no, add breathing, that will make a huge difference. It's very simple. The problem is, it is so simple, that is the reason you don't want to do it. That's the only thing. If I tell you, okay, do something like some computer pe ye hai, wo hai, you might get interested. But if I say, just do this, inhale, exhale. After some time you get bored, it's a kya kar rahe ho? But you know what? It's working more on the cellular level. That is what you need to work on. So first and foremost, whatever movements that I will share, we learn today, I want that you add your breathing. That's very, very important. Next is your body alignment. So remember, whenever you're sitting on the chair, try to see, like suppose if I take this chair, right? Let's try to first understand how should we sit. First, whenever I am sitting, you always sit like this. See what's happening to your back. Okay, let's do it. Everyone try to stand up. Just stand up. Let's try to feel it. And I'll just change, I'll tell you how to do it, right? Just sit the way you sit. So what happens, you push the hips back and try to sit and see what's happening to the lower back. Go slower, be aware. Go slower and try to see what's happening to the lower back. Okay, now the next thing is, imagine from here to here, there is a rod, right? I'm standing, I'm flexing from here and I am sitting straight. Right, watch. I am putting my weight on my legs and I am standing straight. I am not doing, see the difference? I am not giving pressure here. If you are standing, imagine one straight rod from here to here. I use my legs, I don't use my back. Straight, it gives more weight on the legs, less on your back. But this is a training that is required. It doesn't happen in one day. Right? So when I'm coming up, it is not this. Because even if throughout the whole day you sit 10 times, you would create a back pain. Why? Because you're not sitting straight. For example, simple thing, lifting something from the floor. You always do it like this because it's easier. Why don't you do it like this? This straight. Then what's happening? You're using your legs, but not your lower back. You know, these small things, even if you're picking up a paper from the floor, will affect your back pain. Seriously, that's the reason it's very important. Use your legs. Don't use your lower back. It's training. But if you start hammering yourself right now onwards, your back pain will be reduced by 15 to 20%. Just because how you sit. Think, imagine. Straight. Body straight will make a huge. So, body alignment first. Second is pelvic. So now watch here. This is known as posterior pelvic tilt. What is happening? My buttocks are going back. I am sitting on the buttocks. There is a lot of strain on the back. This is neutral where my body is straight. So now to let you know, this is neutral, and when the pelvis goes forward, that is anterior pelvic tilt. Now what I need from you is, take your hands, put it underneath your buttocks. Then you can feel your bone. And the bone is, anatomical term is known as ischial tuberosity, or in simple terms, sit bones. So try to sit on the hand. Now, when you're sitting on the hand, try to feel two bones. Can you feel that? Try to sit straight. Try to feel the two bones. Now, try to go back, posterior. Can you feel the bone? You can't feel the bone. The bone has lost. Right? Now come back in center. You'll find the bone hitting hard. Now go forward, the bone is lost. So your sitting correct position is where the bone is, you can feel the sitting bone, that's initial velocity. Releasing out, that's your position. So neutral pelvic. So whenever you are doing any of these asanas or exercises, what I need is pelvic should be neutral. So that when the pelvic is neutral, the abdomen is engaged. If I do this, the abdomen is not engaged. If I do this, abdomen is not engaged. But if I do this, it's core connection. Right? It's core connection. That's the reason your pelvic should be neutral to keep your core, your abdomen, your powerhouse. All the movements is happening from the abdomen. That's very important. So body alignment and breathing. These two things you need to take care of. Yes. Okay. Now the first thing is, in the video I've talked about this. It's a 1 minute meditation. So what we need to do is, let's do it together. Sit straight first. Tall yourself. Keep the spine straight as if someone is pulling from here. Lengthen it out. Keep your eyes closed. A gentle smile. You don't have to be very serious when you're meditating. And it's very simple. Just close your eyes. Keep your face muscles relaxed. Keep your pelvic neutral. And just observe your breath. Observe the way you're breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling, observe. Exhaling, observe. Just for a minute. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your face muscles relaxed, and breathe. The only thing you're aware is breathing. And now gently open your eyes and relax. The first thing that you do in the morning is start with that 1 minute of meditation before you do any practice. Now, people would say, my mind keeps wandering, I can't really focus. There's a lot of thought that comes in when I keep my eyes closed. But friends, have you ever trained your mind? I'm not saying that do it for 5 minutes. I'm saying do it for 1 minute. It might happen that the thought comes in. But this is where the training is required. Start with 1 minute. A time would come, you will eventually go for 2 minutes. You would start loving it. First, create that love. And for that reason, I say 1 minute. Once the love is created, automatically you will feel like doing it. You will get that space for yourself. And that everyone requires. That give that space in your life. And that when you come to the office, just give that 1 minute, close your eyes, just connect with your breath, connect to yourself. That is where you enjoy your life. Friends, so that is the first thing that I'm talking about is meditation. Now the second one is your neck rotations, right? So we talked about, we start with the neck first, right? So tall yourself once again. So we have, these are the 4 movements that I've shown in the video. So the first is chin tuck. Okay, so watch how you're doing it. I'm in this position. First keep your chin parallel to the floor. So you're not doing the chin up. The chin is parallel to the floor. What you're doing is inhale, exhale, push it back. Inhale, exhale. So keep it straight and you're lengthening upwards. Okay? So inhale, exhale, push it back. What happens when you're pushing it? There is a lengthening happening. So inhale, exhale, pull it back. Inhale, exhale. Now, why chin tuck is important? When you do a chin tuck, your cervical spine that is always like this, or like this, it will improve, but it takes time, right? So these chin tucks are very important. Next one is a lateral flexion. Let's do it together. So first, you always have to start with a chin tuck. After doing a chin tuck, you have to hold it on the sides and go for a lateral stretch to the side. So inhale, exhale, sideways. Now feel the stretch that you're getting here. Now do very light. I don't want to push it. At the same time, the opposite shoulder should be relaxed. Don't elevate it. Keep it down. Now inhale. Exhale, stretch. Inhale. And keep that gentle smile. You don't have to be very serious when you're doing it. Inhale. Exhale, stretch. Now watch. Take it back. Extend it lightly towards the ceiling. And come back in center. Exhale. Flex forward. Keep the other shoulders relaxed. Inhale. Exhale. Just trying to stretch back. Come back in center. And take it down. That's it. Now try to feel it. Try to check your the muscles of this side and this side. There is a slight movement. Now let's go on the other side. Hold it. Tall yourself. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back. Keep your eyes closed. Exhale. It's very simple. The problem is because it's simple, we don't really care for it. Inhale. Exhale. And now, flexion forward. So, exhale. Flex forward. Feel the stretch. Inhale. Take it back. Feel the stretch. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Come back. Relax. Now, friend, thing is what? I am showing you, it takes a bit time, but if you start this for 1 minute, it will not take more than a minute. 15 seconds on one side. So chin tuck 15 seconds, laterals 15 seconds, and then we have neck rotation. So in yoga, we call this as Brahma Mudra because Brahma has 3 faces, and that's the reason. So once again, you're doing a chin tuck, lengthen, and then move to the right side. Extreme right. Inhale back in center. Extreme left. Even we don't do this. We are not using the complete range of movement of your neck, friends. And that is the reason it is very important that you move your neck completely. And neck strengthening. So how does neck strengthening goes? Take your hands back, hold it behind, stretch it out. Now, open it. Now, even if you're doing this, you feel good. You feel so nice at the chest, right? Now, pull it out. And push the head back and the hands forward. So, push it down and relax. 1. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 4. Last one. Inhale and exhale. 5. That's it. These simple movements of your neck will create a lot of impact. You might not realize it. You might feel so simple. Kya farak padta hai? But let me tell you, when you go to the hospitals and you realize people with all these problems, you will find yourself much safer, right? So that is your neck, right? Sorry? Yeah, sure, definitely. Okay. Now let's focus on the shoulders. So now, most of the time, so first was neck, friends, because of you're using the mobile, because of you're using the laptop, and most of the positions are this. What is happening? You're creating a hunchback. The back is going like that. And not now. 10, 15 years down the line, you will be like this solution. You'll find people sometimes sit at some Churchgate station or VT station at one corner and see people going. Some people like, see people, you learn from people. Like they are so busy that they are into this position all the time. There is where you need to realize what am I doing, right? So now let's focus on the shoulder socket joint. So very simple, socket rotation. Keep the fingertips here. Okay. Now exhale, exhale. Okay. Now when I'm lifting up, it's inhalation. Inhale. Take it up, take it up. It's near, it's not out. It's near. It's near, it's near. And take it back, widen the chest, take it back. Squeeze back your shoulder blades, the scapula, and take it down. How does that feel? Check one more time. Inhale. Now, don't elevate the shoulders. I want the shoulders down, right? Inhale, open the chest, feel the chest. Exhale, take it down. Last one. Inhale. Meditate. The movement goes with meditation, mindfulness, and take it down. Relax yourself. Try to feel how does it feel. And I would recommend that instead of sitting while you're in the office, I would recommend you in the standing position, because if you're doing the same sitting position, you're not moving the hip joint, you're not moving the knee joint, you're not putting weight on the legs, right? Now, take it reverse way. Now we're trying to squeeze back the shoulder blades. So touch it. Try to touch it. If you can't, that's completely fine. Take it down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Don't forget your smile, friends. Inhale. You don't have to be serious like that. You can just relax me, right? I know you're married, so I too am. But make a habit to smile even if it is artificial. It feels good. Initial stage it is artificial, at times come, you'll always feel happy. Because smiling makes you happy. Smiling makes you feel happy. So when you're doing any movement, try to smile. Try to smile, right? So it is happy. It makes you feel happy, right? It's good to smile always. So when you're doing your movements, just smile, it's nice. The problem with Indians is we see a stranger like, and when we go to the foreign countries, we are meeting a stranger and he or she is smiling. You say, "Mujhe bhi smile karna hai." The problem is we are not habitual of smiling, right? But guys, make a habit. Even if you're doing the asanas, you're doing the exercises, just keep smiling facing. It feels much better. And you feel happy, leave everything, seriously laugh. And you're lucky to have into an organization where people are so brotherly connected. I really enjoyed it. For me, it is nothing but the way you all work together. I was laughing. It was like great. 18 years back, I was in the corporate world. I was into graphic designing and web designing. It was like this type of facilities are not there. You're quite lucky in that case. Okay, so we talked about this. Inhale and exhale. Make it 5 rounds. So inhaling, exhaling. Now, forward bend. Once again, shoulder. So take the hands back. Hold it there. Okay. Now what I need here, please stand up if you can. Right? Just hold it behind. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay. You're holding it, if you can, right? Hold it there. See, can you hold that? Now, if you think you can't, take a handkerchief or a newspaper in the office if you can. Now, bend the knees. And just flex forward. Oh. Breathe deeply. Breathe deeply. Inhale up. Exhale down. That's it. Just 15 seconds. Take your seat back. Thank you very much. Getting it? Now, the next one is the cow face pose. That is in yoga, we call that Walplast. But you can still do in the sitting position what it is. Take your right arm up. Take your right arm up. Down. Left arm. Down. And hold. Now, even here also, if you can't hold, please don't worry. Use a dupatta, use a newspaper, use a handkerchief, right? If it is not happening, that means there is some restriction in your shoulder socket joint, right? You need to work on it. Now, the next one. And remember, the hand should be this. It should not be this. The hand should be this, right? And then try to see. Perfect. Release it out. Relax. Now let's try the left hand side. So you will always find one side is reachable and the other side is not. So let's try it out. So lift it up, stretch it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, so that it extends more. Take it back. Elbows near. It should not go out. Right? Now stretch this arm out. Pull it out. Pull it out. Take it out, 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 out. Stretch. Take it back. Now try to hold it. Maintain. Focus on the breath. Now see, even I find it difficult. So that's okay. The only thing is work on it, work on it, work on it. Is okay? So friends, the whole meaning behind telling you this is just take out that 1 minute in your life. Just 1 minute. And after every 9 minutes, if you take out that 1 minute, it will help you. Can you imagine at this particular position, you can't move your joints? Think about what's happening slowly and steadily. So that's very important. Now, if you are not doing this, these are the movements that we give to people who have frozen shoulders, people who have rotator cuff tear and bursitis. So these are some of the movements we give them. So why to wait for these common problems when you can just heal it in your office, right? Don't wait for this, because if you get frozen shoulders, friends, it takes good amount of time. Because if you have accumulated this problem since many years, it will definitely take few years to out. So before that, even if you don't have this problem, try to still work on it. Don't think it मेरे लिए नहीं है. ये तो बड़ा आसान है. मुझे push-ups करवा दो, मुझे marathon भरवा दो. But no, that's not really. This simple thumb really works, and we have done all those things, right? Now, elbow and wrist joints. So once again, friends, elbows and wrist joints are very, very important. Why? Because we never use our elbows to the complete extension. It's always this much, right? So what's happening? And it's very simple. It's not something rocket science I'm talking about. Simple. When you get into the office, first meditate. 1 minute. 1 minute of silence, right? And as usual, married people know how to be silent, because that is the best solution for all the answers, right? So the thing is, first 1 minute silent, then think about the neck, 4 movements of the neck, then the shoulders, then the elbows. So what is simple movement? Take it here, keep it here, elbows near, like that's the position, and stretch out. Now extreme, extend, 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 complete locking. Inhale, exhale, breathe, inhale. But keep your shoulders relaxed. I don't want this. I want down, right? Then inhale, exhale, inhale, breathe, exhale. Last one. Don't forget to smile. And stretch out. Take the arms down and relax yourself. Simple. It's quite simple. As I told you, because it is simple, you will not like to do it. Your mind says, "अरे कितना आसान है ये तो मैं करते ही रहता हूँ." But no, are you doing it with awareness? या हमने ऐसे धक्का मार दिया, हाँ हो गया. ऐसा हम करते हैं अक्सर. But no, ऐसा अगर neck का कुछ हो गया तो क्रश. नहीं, it's wrong. You are playing with some of the thinnest vertebrae in the body. If you see your spine, यहाँ से मोटा होता है, thick होता है, thick होता है. और ये गर्दन पे आके इतनी छोटी सी हो जाती है. और उसमें अगर आपने ऐसे और ऐसे करते हैं तो झटका लग गया तो ऐसे हो गया. So that is the reason. Please don't play with your, especially the cervical vertebrae. Cervical, Just make that point clear. So now wrist rotation. So we went on the elbows, flexion. This movement is known as flexion. This movement is known as extension, right? Now wrist rotation. Now people who are working on the keyboard, people are using the mouse and the mobile, definitely. See, it is no problem using the mobile. But if you make a habit of, instead of doing it like this, if you do this mobile is here, this, not this, problem solved. But what happens, we do it like this, back. But if I keep my spine straight and only move from here, is there any movement? Check. Is my body straight? Yes, my body is straight, my spine is straight, but this, it is not. Check it out. And if you are having a habit of doing this all the time, think about how many hours you are sitting in this flexed position. Very bad. You can't breathe deeply. There's no breathing happening. You're not utilizing the complete capacity, the volume of your lungs. Why? Because you have contracted the rib cage. The intercostal muscles between the rib cage is not elastic. That's the reason you say, अरे डीप ब्रीथिंग करने से तकलीफ होता है. अरे तुमने कभी इसको स्ट्रेचिंग नहीं किया तो तकलीफ तो होगा ही होगा. But if you make it a point to just breathe deeply by doing this movement, so what you're doing, you're not only moving, you're also focusing on breathing. Breathing. It's meditative.
Once the diaphragm expansion.
Yeah, definitely. So now let's talk about how we are doing a breathing. So there are various types of breathing. Let me tell you. The first breathing is known as people who are chest breathers. So what they do, there is no movement in the abdomen. It's like, there is no movement here. It's only, there is no change in the abdomen. The second type of people who breathe are abdominal breathers. So there's nothing happening in the chest. It's like this. Abdomen is this. It's like always bulging out. What the perfect way of breathing is, we need a three-dimensional breath. What does three-dimensional mean? When I'm breathing in, if I touch here, let's do it together. Come. Keep the hands on the sides of it. Now that's your rib cage you're touching. Now what I want, apart from the anterior part of the rib cage expanding, I want the lateral side of the rib cage also expanding. Keep your neck and shoulders relaxed. Face muscle relaxed, and your spine. Right? So inhale, exhale, inhale. You feel it, the expansion of the sides, exhale. That's a three-dimensional breath. Inhale, exhale. This is what the breathing is. Once again, inhale, exhale. Now, one more. When you're breathing here, I need a little bit of core activation. I don't want the abdomen to be loose. Light bit of, so we have three layers of muscles. So the deepest layer is known as transverse, deepest, transverse abdominis. It starts from here and it goes down like this. Can you remember? And it goes down like here completely. Now what's happening when you breathe in? I need this abdomen active. So it's inhalation from everywhere. So it's not abdomen out. Because if the abdomen is getting out, it will not connect the upper body and the pelvic. The upper body, that is the rib cage, and the pelvic to connect is your abdomen. If your abdomen is active, any movement that you're doing is supportive. That's the reason the core, it is known as a powerhouse also. So when you're breathing in, I want that your abdomen should be active, not tight. This is tight. I can't talk. What I need is active. Where I can't talk, but I can feel my core is gently active. So once again, keep the hands half on the rib cage, half on the abdomen. Right? Now, sit tall. First of all, am I sitting tall? Is my pelvic neutral? Remove that back rest. Come away from the back rest. Because that makes you feel into a posterior. Now, what I'm trying to do is feel lateral expansion and feel the abdomen. So, exhale, inhale, exhale. And feel your lengthening from here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Remember, your breathing should not be like this. You're not using your shoulder, because when you're using your shoulders, you're creating a strain on the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So that's a muscle that connects from here to here. So please don't do that, right? So that is the wrist rotation. Very simple. Palm. Inhale. Take both the arms in front. Stretch out. Fold it. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch. 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 Get a nice wonderful stretch. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax the forehead. Relax the forehead. Right? So you know what? I don't want these wrinkles. Remove these wrinkles out. Can I do it in a relaxed way? That's the thing I just smile. Otherwise, you're doing like this. Why? I mean, there is no requirement. You're just stretching the palms. But because you're so habitual, you're stressed. Can I just relax my face muscles and just do a stretch because it's just the palm? It's the palm muscle, it's not the forehead muscles. Right? So just stretch it lightly and that's perfectly fine. Right? And change one more time. These are all very simple things. Try and just add it into your life. Your life will be much more happy. Let me tell you. Right? And in fact, I'll tell you, there is a research. So there is an American Medical Journal Association. And they have a lot of researches. So first research came from them that the Indian style of call of nature is the best in the world. So they work on groups, like there are 100 group of people who are focusing on the Western style, there are 100 group of people who are focusing on the Indian style. So in that they came to a conclusion that the joint movement that you do is helpful for your blood circulation, because when your nerve passes from these joints, and if your joints are tight, the nerve signals, we call the sensory neuron and the motor neuron, that passes through these joints, they can't transmit that signal just because your joints have become rusted, your joints have become tight. But when you do this movement, you are giving that nervous system to pass those sensory neuron, the motor neuron. You understand? Now that is going everywhere. And that's the reason you need to work on simple. In fact, Bihar School of Yoga in Munger has written a book, Pavan Muktasana series. I will share this book to you. You can read it. It's in a PDF format. They also talk about joint rotation. Give that. There's a guy in Japan. He talked about chakras awakening and kundalini awakening is possible by just doing these joint movements. It helps in that. So there's also one book. If given an opportunity, I'll share that PDF file with you. So really you can get an idea what I'm talking about. So it's not just a movement. There is a science behind it. There's a science behind it. Okay, so palms, fingers, stretch it out. Stretch it, space it out, space it out, space it out. And now clasp it out. Complete. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So this is what is happening. You are stretching your finger joints. Tell me, what is the time you did like this? Never. What is the time you did like this? Last time? Never. But with a smile, not like with a smile. You never did. Never happens, right? These are the movements that you should be doing, right? So that is your, and the common condition is what nowadays? Carpal tunnel syndrome. It's a worse condition. They go to surgery of carpal tunnel syndrome, you will be surprised. It's a very pathetic type of surgery done on people who have a carpal tunnel syndrome. That is the fingers getting completely numb. So that is your elbows and wrists. So friends, this movement, if you do after every 9 to 10 minutes, it will help you out. Because what you're doing is, you are lubricating your synovial fluid, the oil that you have in your fingers. That happens with all the joints in the body, right? Spine, right? Now let's talk about the spine. As usual, common condition is back problem. Now the spine I'm talking about from the cervical to the thoracic. So from here, that's my cervical spine, that's my thoracic, and that's my lumbar. Now if you see this, people who don't move their spine, apart from having back problems, they have bamboo spine. Now what is bamboo spine? Bamboo spine is somewhere all these vertebrae, intervertebral discs, are fused together like bones. So what is happening if they have to move behind here? They can't do this. They can't do this. They have to move the body up. Why? Because they haven't moved their joint. Apart from genetical condition, genetic other stuff, the important is just move your spine. Now, what is the best way? Being in the same position. So I take a chair, sit, tall yourself once again, lengthen, keep the hands on the knees. Very simple. Inhale. As you round your back, you exhale because the abdomen is compressing. So inhale, exhale, round. Give a nice curve, as if the spine is in a C curve. Inhale. Lift, pull the chest out. Now the spine is in the different order. So concave and convex. And once again, exhale. Inhale. Open the chest, squeeze back your shoulder blades, take the head back, stretch it out. And inhale, extend. Open the chest. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Don't you feel it really feels good internally when you're doing this movement? Don't you feel there's a little bit of warm-up feeling you might get in case you're doing it? Now, so that is known as the cat and dog, or it's also known as Marijarasana. Okay? Now, spinal twist. What is spinal twist? I'm sitting on a chair. That's my position. I tell you, if you can do all these things in a standing position, it will be great because you're giving weight to your legs. By this, you're not giving weight to your legs. But by this, you're giving weight to your legs. So if you have to do a cat and cow, you can just with the hands, you can just do this. Why? Because you're giving weight to your legs. The bone density is working. By this, it can, but not to that extent. Now, tell yourself, whenever you are doing a spinal twist, you are twisting from the center of the axis. So it's this. It's not this. Right? Keep it tall and try to be away from the back twist. Don't do this. No. Very bad idea. Come, reach forward. Tall yourself. Lengthen from the crown of the head. Now, I hold it here. Right? I hold it here. So hold anything that you can. Now, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come back in center. Let's try the other side. Hold something that you can. Something that you can. Hold it. So that will help you to increase that twist a little bit more. Right? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. And come back and relax. Breathing. Breathing. Next one. Stretch it out. Neck and shoulders relax. Lift up. Right? Now inhale. Now you're not elevating the shoulders like this. I want the shoulders down. Right? And relax. Now inhale. Exhale to your right side. To your right. To your right. To your right. To your right. Inhale back in center. Engage your core. Exhale to the left hand side. Yeah, I think we should. Okay, let's take the standing position, guys. Now, I know you are sitting for long hours. It's good to do a standing position, right? So once again, tall yourself, neck and shoulders relaxed, chin tuck, right? Interlace the fingers, stretch it out. Don't forget to smile, guys. Right? Inhale, lift up. Neck and shoulders relaxed. Exhale to your right side, your right. Inhale, back in center. Exhale to your left hand side, your left hand side. Guys, your left hand side. Inhale, back in center. Use your core. Tighten the abdomen. Don't loosen the abdomen, okay? Exhale. Better now. Still be better, please. Inhale. Exhale. Right. Inhale, come back in center. Release the arm. Relax it. Thank you very much. Right? So, that was your lateral stretch with interlacing the fingers. Right? Is it okay with you? Fine. Now, the next one is a back extension. So once again, sorry, but I've asked you to stand up. Please, sorry. Okay, now please watch. Keep the hands on the hip. Keep the hands on the hip. Keep the hands on the hip. Take your elbows back. Open the chest. Chin tuck. Now I don't want this. Why? Because you're creating a compression on your cervical spine. Space between the chin and the chest, when you're going back, that should be a position, but not this. Fine? So a fist gap between the chin and the chest. This will help you to keep your cervical spine aligned, right? So, that's the position. Exhale. Inhale. Now remember friends, I don't want you to go like that. Don't do that. I see people, and most of the yoga magazines, the problem is the yoga magazines or yoga book are done by professionals. So when they do like this, so everyone thinks, वहाँ पे समाधि मिलेगी. But the problem is, everything has a level. You go according to your body level. So if someone is going too much back, it's his body, good to him. But you have to go very gently. And I want you to create an arc. I need an extension. I don't need a bend. I don't need a bend. I need an extension, an arc. So keep the hands. Take it back. Open the chest. Neck and shoulders relaxed. Don't forget to smile. Now inhale back, engaging the core. Extend. Exhale. In center. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Use a core, use a core, use a core. Abdomen. And so whenever you're doing a backward bend, two things are important. First, tighten the abdomen. Else what will happen if you are doing a backward bend, अगर आप पेट की मांसपेशियों को एक्टिव नहीं कर रहे हो तो सब प्रेशर आपके बैक पे आएगा. दूसरा, बटक्स, ग्लूट, उसको हल्का सा टाइट रखो. अगर आपने इसको टाइट नहीं रखा, once again the pressure will come on your back. So two things. Whenever you're doing a backward bend, two things are important. पेट की मांसपेशियों को एक्टिव रखें, ग्लूट्स को एक्टिव रखें. There you go. Don't take the head like that. Fine. And go according to your limits. Thank you very much. Sit. ये ताली किसकी है? ताली किसकी है? दो तरीके की ताली. एक तो बोल गया भाई. Okay. So the next one. Okay. ये और एक क्लास वाला है. तो जो भी आइडिया है, okay, now it's about the hip. Fine. So, as I told you, you can do these things on a chair. That's completely fine. But I would still recommend to do it in a standing posture, a forward stretch. So, a simple way, if a person is having a back pain, then definitely he should sit on it. Whenever you do a forward bend, so I'm just coming center so it's easy to understand. If I'm having a back pain, then I don't do like this. This is not a forward bend. This is bending from the lower back. This is a bending from the lower back. So if a person is having a back pain, what he needs to do is take a support of the wall and flex from the hip joint. Two differences, watch. I want you will do it in the standing, but before you do it, I want you to watch. First, that I don't want you to do. See, I'm going slow. Check my lower back. Check my lower back. Check my lower back. And then on the top of that, people do it like this. So they are straight and they are doing this. Death and destruction to your back. But a very easier way. And definitely I see a lot of things people doing when sun salutation, they do it like this. Anytime, if you bend in this manner, you would be creating other back problem, nahi hai, still you will have it. So what is the way of doing it? Remember I told you, pelvic. If, have you seen Shakira dancing? Move the pelvis, that means this. This. Right? Abhi yehi karne mein logon ko mushkil hoti hai. Now, what I need is, you keep the hands on the hip, and what I need is this. Flex from the hip joint. Flex from the hip joint, not from the lower back. Normally, when you do a forward bend, what do? You bend from the lower back. That is really bad. Because our lower back is not meant to bend. The movement is from the hip joint. So, watch. Straight tall, I bend my knees. Why? It's easier for my back. So I bend my knees, I go forward, I'm still okay. Then from here, if I'm comfortable, I will stretch my legs. If I have to come back, I will bend my knees. Back is straight. Logic? Think about it. Now I talk about the second way. While doing this also I can feel the back. Now I will ask you to do both the ways to understand why I am saying it. So let's take the standing position. Come. Okay. So first do the one that I don't want you to do. You have to feel the back. What's happening to the back? Forward bend. In yoga we call it Paschimuttanasana or Padastasana or Padapushtasana. Different names by different schools. Okay? Take the arms up. Now try to bend from the lower back. And see what's happening to your back, lower back. Check, check. Keep your legs straight, keep your legs straight, keep your legs straight. And then try to come up in the same way. Check your lower back, feel your lower back, be aware, mindful. Any strain coming on the back? Too much. But the problem is हम जब movement करते हैं हम चीजों को ध्यान नहीं देते हैं. हम कर लेते हैं, but हम awareness की बात करते हैं. Now let us focus on what? Flexing from the hip joint. So पहले हाथ ऊपर ले लीजिए, keep the hand up. Now flex from the pelvis. That is the movement. Go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. And then take it down. Relax there, breathe. Bend the knees, come up. And then and makes a difference, guys? This is what it is when you are doing a forward stretch. Make it a habit. Make it a habit to use your thighs. वही मैं बात की कि आप जब कोई चीज उठाते हो तो बेंड करके उठाएं. इससे होगा क्या? आप अपनी लेग्स की मसल्स यूज कर रहे हैं, लेग्स की मांसपेशियां यूज कर रहे हैं. बट हम करते क्या हैं? फटाक से उठा लिया. बिकॉज आसान पड़ जाता है. यही आप 10 बार करोगे एक दिन बैक पेन आ जाएगा. पता नहीं क्या बैक पेन हो गया. A simple pencil picking up from the floor would create a back pain and you will be surprised. अरे वैसे कैसे हो गया? Okay. Now the figure 4. Take the sitting position. So you're sitting tall. Now this posture is also known as kapot. Kapot means a pigeon pose. Okay, take the right leg on the top like this. Okay, fine. Turn yourself. Lengthen from the crown of the head. अब करना क्या है, इसमें सिर्फ आपको फॉरवर्ड बेंड करना है, यहाँ पे जो स्ट्रेच आ रही है उस पर ध्यान दें। ऐसे बैठे भी आप यहाँ पे स्ट्रेच आ रही होगी, ठीक है। तो ये सर अभी वापस फ्लैश कहाँ से करना है, हिप से, लोअर बैक से नहीं। सो कीप द स्पाइन tall, move forward, neck and shoulders relax, and don't forget to smile. Inhale, exhale, flex forward, हल्का सा, एकदम मामूली, just gentle. Try to feel the stretch. Neck and shoulders relax. Breathe. Breathe. See, I'm not doing this. I'm not trying to reach somewhere. Straight. And you're just flexing forward. That's it. You get an intense stretch. And breathe. In, breathe out. And come back. That's it. It's very simple. Let's try the other side. Tall. First, lengthen the spine. Pelvic is neutral. Neck and shoulders relax. Chin tucked. Right? Inhale. Exhale. Flex forward from the hip joint. Flex forward from the hip joint. Neck and shoulders relax. Don't forget to smile. Breathe. Stretch. Breathe. Stretch. And come back in center. And relax. So there is a reason I tell you, keep always smiling. So even in difficult situations, you'll always smile. Because by default, your skin, your facial expression would be always in a smiling manner. So even if you're in stressful situations, a time would come, you have practiced so much, keep it. It's like you just keep smiling. You don't have to show your colors. So just keep smiling, right? Okay, now figure 4, that is support asana, we are focusing on quad stretch. Now what is a quad stretch? Two options of doing a quad stretch. One, suppose if I can take a kneeling position like this, and I keep my hands here, in case if that's possible, otherwise I will give you the other option. Try to push that hip. This is a quad, this is a hamstring. When we do the forward bend, we stretch our hamstring, that is the back. Now by kneeling this, we are doing, and this is very, 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 very important. Now let me tell you why that's very important. Throughout the whole day, which is the movement that your body does? Forward, backward. How many percent, roughly, if I talk about throughout the whole day, how much percent you do a backward bend than a forward bend?
Hardly.
Hardly. Tell me a time when you do something like this. But all the time you're doing this, 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 this. Everything is this.
Yeah.
Now what is happening to the muscles? Think. Think about it. These muscles are known as flexors. That flexes the body.